Hi guys, how are you all doing? So it's your favorite fashion instructor Chi Living Signature. So guys, you are welcome back to today's tutorial. So guys, you can see what you have on our table. And you have seen the turn already. So this is the fabric that we're working with. We stretch is crepe. So you can see my stretches a bit. So I won't be adding same allowance. Rather, I'll be subtracting 1 inch all round. Yes, I'll be subtracting 1 inch so that I will have a fitted gown when I'm through. So guys, you can see how stretchy mine is. I'm using two combinations I said earlier. So let's quickly get started. So we have a basic pattern here. This is the armhole of the back pattern. That's the back panel. Okay, this is the front armhole. Front is always deeper. So we have waist, hip, and the hem line. That is the full length of our gown. Okay, so now we have to clean now. Place the bust point. So it's 10.5 inches. So there is no same allowance here. We'll be adding that up while transferring to the fabric. So let me quickly label it is the bust line as the bust point. So now we have to clean now. Trace it. Yes, we have to open our pattern. Before that, let me adjust all this. So for those that will be working with that, decide to add that. I'm not working with that because my fabric stretches. So you trace it this way. Okay, connect as well because we open this pattern is into fold here because it's that manipulation. You can see what we have. So I'm through tracing it. So this is how it should look like. So what I have here is my standard body measurement. There's no seam allowance here. So I have to clean now, extend it to make sure I have a straight line. So this is my bust measurement. So I have exactly my bust round measurement here. So I will be subtracting an ½ inch. Okay, so you fold it this way. You could try to subtract 1.5 inches or 1 inch, but mine, it depends how stretchy, your fabric is. So quickly check your fabric this way to check how stretchy it is. But if you are working with a plain fabric, okay, that is an Ankara, print. So there's no need for subtraction because it doesn't stretch, okay. So hip line, I'm subtracting 1.5 inches. Rather, let me increase to 2 inches, like what I'm doing here, guys, or 1.5 inches so that I will have a straight gown when I'm through. So hem line is just 1 inch, but there's no slit. Okay, so I will connect it this way. So you can see I'm getting rid of the hip allowance here. So there's curve on the hip line, but it's not that visible. Okay, so you connect it to the chest line this way. Make sure you blend it properly. I'm using my my pen first. So I will have to click cross check. So it's 2 inches on hip line. So cut it out this way. Blend it to the hip line and then to the hem line. That is the full length of your gown. So I have total of 10 inches now, which is 40. Okay, so I'll open it up this way. This includes my same allowance. But because it's dash manipulation, I'll be adding an ½ inch round. So first, find the center of your front panel this way. Okay, connect it to straight through. Sorry, the fan is obstructing me. So connect it to master curve to find the center of your front panel. Okay, so let me quickly adjust my camera. So guys, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment to help this channel to grow. Okay, so now you can see I subtracted 1 inch, excuse me, 2 inches on the waist and 1 inch on the bust. Okay, so now you have to place your dart manipulation here. Though it's optional, okay, excuse me. Mine, this is waist line. I quickly label it as well. So I will connect it this way. So I just went to my shoulder line, find the center of my shoulder line, okay, which is 2.5 inches. I'm connecting it straight to my side waist line. though this part is totally optional. I've said that earlier. Okay, so I'm using a pen first. The reason is so that I make sure I have a straight line. Place it this way. Okay, so I just went to my shoulder, find the center of my shoulder line, which is 2.5 inches. So now this part is optional. I've said that earlier. So you could decide to slash as many as you want. Yes, it's optional. So now I want to clean and connect this. Okay, first you can see what I'm doing, guys. Find the nipple to nipple, which is total of 8 inches because it's not into fold. Okay, so connect it straight. Excuse me. It's just for a guide. Okay, this way. Make sure you have a straight line. It's very important. So I will connect this to the side waistline this way. So decide to label this as fold, and in the center, which is the upper part. Okay, the side part, the other side armhole, the waist. So all depends on your preference. Decide to create a circle. So now, for instance, I'm making a circle this way. What you just do, connect this way with your armhole curve, blend it. So you decide to work with just princess dart. Yes, you decide to work with princess dart. Find your nipple to nipple. Find the center of your armhole depth. Connect it. It's optional, okay? So this is how it should look like. But make sure that when you are transferring to your fabric, you add seam allowance. If I'm making use of this one, then we are going to get rid of this first line. So this is it. It's very simple, guys. So now I have to quickly now connect mine this way to the M line. Yes, triangular form. Okay, yes. So I will connect this way with my master row this way. Can you see? First, you have to use a pencil. Yes, it will help you just for a guide. So when using your marker, you know, pencil is easier to clean, but marker you can't do that. So step out from your nipple to nipple, just 1 inch, okay? This way. So mine is a triangular form. You have seen the thumbnail already. So this is it. So if you decide to work with 3 combinations, it's optional, guys. Mine is just 2, okay? So this is it. So I have to now quickly connect it with my marker this way. You can see how easy it is now because I've used my pen to trace it first. So this is how it should look like. So this is it. Now I have to now quickly now label it. But before then, I'll connect this to the armhole or step down from the bust point, you know, with just an ½ inch or direct to your bust point. So now label it. This is the first part. You can see. Yes, that is why it's called dart manipulation. So they will have 2 types of dart manipulation. We have the patches. Though this one is the direct dart manipulation because you'll be sewing it direct to your fabric. Okay, so this is the second, is the third. You can see what we have. So this other one is the 4th one. So decide to use the white fabric on this part. So this is the 5th one, and this is the 6th one. That is the last one. So I have to now get rid of my nipple to nipple. Okay. So this is this. Let me quickly cut it out. And please, before doing this, make sure you use your front panel to trace your back panel. Yes, I didn't do that. I forgot. So what I did, I went ahead to use my sellotape to secure it to be able to trace out my back panel. But first, before cutting out your dart line, make sure you use your front panel to trace out your back panel. What you should just to add there, zipper allowance, that is all. So this is the second part. You cut it out this way, okay? Do not forget, this is optional, guys, okay? So you connect this way to meet the center of the waistline, then to the side seam on the waistline. So it's very simple, guys. So like what I said, that I'm working with this triangular form. So I'm cutting straight. Unlike the curve one, I'm not making it of the curve one, so I'm cutting it straight. through the center of my front panel to the waistline this way. So this is it. So make sure you label it so you have issues while stitching. So I'll have to clean out, trace out this other part as well. So this I should look like the other parts. Trace it out this way. So cut it this way. So now I have to quickly label this part as well. It's the sixth part. So this eye should look like. So do not forget that this part is optional. Okay. So now let's say this way. The same way you'll be adding your same allowance all around. Yes, for easy sewing. Excuse me. So now we have to clean now, introduce our fabric. But before then, I have to put them together so I'll be able to trace out the back panel. So see, so I want to quickly use it to trace out the back panel. Like what I said earlier, that you make sure you use this to trace out your back panel, yes, before cutting out the front panel. So I'm through tracing out the back panel, so I have to quickly remove all this. So now I have to now cut out the first part, okay. Gently pull it out this way. So the first part, I'll be using the white fabric. Yes, so I will place it this way. Okay, check the stretchy part. So let the stretchy part be placed on a round measurement. Pin it, or decide to use your paper tape to secure it this way. Okay, pin it down. Patiently do this, because when you pin it down this way, place same allowance of 0.5 inch all round. While stitching, you won't have issues. Yes, so do that patiently. Add 0.5 inch. Advise you use your pencil this way. Okay, all round. So you can see, guys, I'm through. So the next thing to do now is to cut it out this way with just an ½ inch that I added as my seam allowance. Okay, so cut it this way. So you place this ½ inch seam allowance all around. Shoulder line. So decide to add an ½ inch on your neckline. Okay. For the armhole, I'm cutting it straight. I didn't place any dart on the armhole area. Guys, you really have to be patient while doing this to have a straight line when you are through. So you can see we are through the first part. So I will do the same to the second. That is number 2 of it. The third one, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay. So I will pin it this way. So I'll be using this fabric on the part 2 of it. Yes. So pull it out this way. An ½ inch all around. I said to use pen now is mine, but while working for a client, make sure you use pencil, okay? So mark it this way. An ½ inch. So it's very simple, guys. Okay, all round. You can see I'm through. So this is the third one. Place it this way. So add 0.5 inch all round as well. And see. So make sure you preserve your pattern. Yes, so I won't be confused while stitching. So I'm through the part 1, the 2, and the third one. You can see how it looks. See how beautiful it looks. So let me quickly introduce the fourth part. Okay. So to achieve this, you have to be patient, guys. I have to quickly trace the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth part. Yes, all. And quickly show you guys. So I'll trace it and show you guys. So you can see I'm through tracing all. You can see how beautiful it looks. So I said to change my third pattern. Okay, you can see how beautiful it looks. So you can see. So guys, it's time now. Okay, to move over to our sewing mat. Before then, make sure you mark your hip line. What I'm doing, guys, mark your hip line. So while stitching, you won't have issues. So I will mark it this way, and I will still go ahead and notch it. Yes, to notch it for easy sewing. Your waistline as well, and your bust line. Okay. So I've added an ½ inch all round. But the third part is not that straight. I'll quickly blend it properly. So you can see it should be an ½ inch around. So this is the bust line. So I'll place it this way. The hem line as well. So you can see I'm notching it, guys. The bust point, the waistline, so that while stitching you won't have issues. So notch the hip line to create your hip curve. Okay. So this side should notch it for easy sewing. So patiently notch it this way. Hip line and the side seam this way. While doing this, make sure your pattern is well placed on your fabric. So the bust line, notch it as well, all round. So guys, you have to quickly put all these aside. We'll be needing the first part. Yes. So I'll move over to our sewing machine. So the first and the second part. So this is it. So for the back panel, you can see I'm through tracing it out. Is V neckline. So you can see zipper allowance. I didn't cut it open, but I've notched my waistline as well. So I added 2 inches. I will close the 2 inches zipper allowance and fix my zipper. But before that, let's quickly introduce our machine this way. So guys, it's time to stitch. So place it. You can see we have notched the nipple. There is the bust line. Okay, so place it this way. So make sure the bust line aligns with each other this way, ½ inch, and show you guys. So you place it. For them, make sure you pin it this way. Okay. So this part, advice you mark it as well. Whatever you place as seam allowance, mark it with your pencil to have a straight stitch when you are through. Okay. So stitch this way. Sorry, my camera. Let me adjust it properly for a better view. So stitch with whatever you added as your seam allowance, but advise do not place more than an ½ inch. So this is it. So guys, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe. If you find this interesting, like, share, comment, please. So put the machine aside this way. You can see how beautiful it looks already. You can see. So you can see the shoulder part. That is why I advise you add seam allowance on the shoulder line. So we trim out this part when we are through. So this is it. So now is the third part. Introduce it this way. Make sure you cross check very well. You can see it's not straight, so make sure it's straight. Place it is still wrong because the center line, which is the center of the front panel, is straight. So you can see it's the wrong side. When you place it, this side should look like. And make sure you cross check your fabric to know the wrong side as well. Okay, so you place it this way. You can see how it look like. See, so place it once again to cross check. It's a bit confusing, guys, to be honest with you. So place it properly. Check your fabric as well to know the wrong side of your fabric. So you can see I'm through. So I have to now quickly now flip it this way. I have a shortage on this other part. Initially I wanted to use the white fabric on this part. So this is it. To place it, to stitch with an 1/2 inch. You can see an 1/2 inch this way. Advise you pin it. Yes, pin it. So now I have to introduce my sewing machine as well to stitch with that an 1/2 inch that I added as my seam allowance. So place it this way. Back stitch. Stitch patiently, guys. So another secret on how to achieve beautiful, I need that manipulation is ironing. Yes, you have to make sure you iron properly when you are frozen. You see how it looks? So you flip it this way, adjust this other part and notch. So if you added them an half inch seam allowance, you will notch with just 0.4 inch. Okay, so closely. So by the time you stitch, everything will sit properly. So you can see I have notched it. You can see this way. I'm showing you guys. You can see so about 0.4 inch this way. So I will pin it on that part. Okay, pin it this way. Open it up this way to see how last it is before you continue. So now I have to clean now, stitch now to the side seam. I have a little shortage here, so I'll make sure I maintain the straight line stitch. Okay, to avoid the bulge. So you see, I open it up this way. You can see the part that I notch. Watch closely. So place it on your machine this way. Okay. So I have to quickly adjust my camera or a better view. So this is how it should look like. Stitch this way. Do not forget to back stitch. See, this part I will stitch to make sure I won't have that shortage there. We just one that's an 1/2 inch, sorry. Maintain it straight this way. So you can see. I'll open it up now and see what we have. So I'll flip it in, iron it, okay, so it will relax properly. So I'll iron it and show you guys now, okay, to make sure the dot lines open properly. So you can see, guys, I'm done ironing that part. So this is how it should look like. So guys, I'm trying to adjust my camera. Yes, so this is it. You can see the third part. You can see this is how it should look like, but this pattern is on the right side. It's okay, so I have to quickly now flip it in. You see, to the wrong side this way. This is the second pattern. place it properly to make sure you're on the right track. You can see. And this is the third one, guys. See? So we have to now introduce the fourth pattern. So let me quickly cross check and introduce the fourth pattern, which is this. So now introduce the fabric. So guys, you really have to be patient while working on this. Yes. So this is how it should look like, the fourth pattern. Introduce it this well. So you flip it in to stitch and flip it this way. So now I have to now quickly introduce the fourth pattern. That is the fabric. So guys, you can see the fourth pattern, that is the fabric. Yes, I have traced out. So this is how it should look like. So I have to clean now, flip it this way. Okay. Right side facing the right side. Pin it down. Yes, you have to repin it this way. Patiently pin it. So open it up this way to cross check before you stitch. Okay, you can see the fourth pattern. So now here's the third one. Flip to the wrong side. You see how beautiful it looks. So it's really beautiful, guys. So now we have to quickly move over to our sewing machine, put all this outside to stitch with an 1/2 inch. Open up the darts this way. You have to open up the dart line as you stitch the line this way. Okay, so that it won't budge when you are through. So open it this way to stitch. Make sure you back stitch. So advice as you stitch, you pull it a little bit because it's a crepe, it's a stretchy fabric. But if you are sewing with your sewing and weaving machine, it's the best. Yes. So this is it. That is 5 thread. So we are through with this fourth part. So you have to quickly cross check as well. You can see how the waistline meet with each other. So by the time we iron it, to sit properly. So I had to now work with the sixth pattern. Yes, advise you work with the sixth pattern if you are creating something like this. Okay, so you can't just move to the fifth pattern. It's going to affect you because this is a triangular form. So I have to create this part first. Make sure right side facing the right side. So note we notch it earlier. That's the hip line. So you can see the notch. Place it this way. Make sure the hip line, the notch meets with each other. Make sure it aligns with each other this way. You can see the hip line. So that is why it's very important to notch. Okay, so that while stitching, you won't have issues. So pin it this way. That is your hip line. Okay. Place it to your hemline this way. So flip to your machine this way to stitch as well with an 1/2 inch. But as a beginner, advise you mark it to your hemline with whatever you added as your seam allowance. So you have a straight stitch when you are through. So stitch this way. Adjust it. Don't put that much. Pull it a little bit because it stretches. So place it right side facing the right side. So you can see how beautiful it looks. So guys, it's really simple and beautiful. So you pin it, sorry, you stitch this way to the waistline. Okay. Sorry, checking if my camera is well positioned. So this is it. As you stitch, you check. Adjusting my camera for a better view, guys. Let's it. So we're stitching now to the waist line. This way. You can see. Watch close, you can see I'm still maintaining the ½ inch I added as my seam allowance. Do not add, do not subtract. So see how beautiful and neat it looks, guys. You can see. So advice at this stage, quickly give it a very nice press. Yes, iron it open. You can see, iron it open this way. So now is to stitch the 5th part. Yes, you know the triangular form, that is the 6th part. That is our 6th pattern. So let me introduce. Before then, I have to open it up this way to adjust it a bit. It's not that straight, but you have to stitch with whatever you added at your seam allowance. So see how beautiful it looks now. So iron it open this way. I will be doing that later. So this is how it should look like. Open up your dart. That is your dart line this way. You can see. So let me quickly secure it. So stitch to secure it. It has to be open this way. See how beautiful it looks. So it's time now to introduce the next pattern. But make sure you cross check before you move over to the next step. You can see, remember, it's the wrong side fixing us, that is a camera. So this is it. So the hip line meeting with each other, that make sure that your hip line, the waist aligns with each other. You can see how straight the line is. So this is the fabric for this part. You can see the side seam, how curved it is on the waistline as well. So place it for that line, that is, sorry, the hip line meeting with each other this way. Pin it as well. Okay, pin it, patiently pin it, flip it in this way. So I had to pin it to this point where I couldn't find my pins. So I will just place it properly. You have to patiently open up your dart line. So pin it on this part for easy sewing. So open it up this way to check if you're on the right track. You can see how beautiful and neat it looks already. So it's really beautiful and simple, guys. So place it, check this other part to make sure you don't have any shortage. You see, so we have to now flip it in and move over now to our sewing machine. So place it. I'm stitching from the hem line because I've pinned it. I wasn't notched, so I knew my hip line, my waist. Okay, so as you stitch, just in my camera, sorry, stitch this way. Do not forget to back stitch. Okay, stitch with whatever you added as your seam allowance. Do not forget that. So you can see the pin on the hip line. So I've removed the pin. So I continue this way to meet my waistline. You can see I've removed the pin as well because I'm approaching the waistline. Adjust it properly this way. You can see. So I have to clean out cross check before I will flip it to the waistline. So flip it this way. You can see. Open up the dart line. Yes, you have to really open it up this way. So by the time you finish stitching, everything will sit properly. So you have to pin as well. Yes, you have to pin this part to make sure you don't have any shortage. So pin, and flip it this way to cross check. You can see how beautiful it looks, guys. You can see how relaxed it is already. I haven't stitched it yet, so I will now flip it this way over to our sewing machine. So it's time to stitch now, guys. Make sure you stitch with whatever you added as your seam allowance. Do not forget that. So as you stitch, you cross check to avoid the shortage when you are through. So make sure you open up the dart line, notch as well, as I said earlier, excuse me, with 0.4 inch, okay, on that pointy part. So stitch this way. So I have to open our cross check over to our table. You can see I've gone ahead to iron it as well. So you can see how beautiful and neat it is, guys. So this is it. Place it this well to cross check if you did the right thing. Yes. You can see what we have on our table is very neat and accurate. There is no allowance left. Exactly the pattern that we have on it this way. So you have to maintain your seam allowance if you want to achieve this. Yes. So place it this way. And the last one you can say. So guys, if you find the video interesting, do not forget to like. Okay, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to help this channel to grow. Please share, comment, please. So it's time now to cut our facing. Yes, we need to cut our facing. You decide to use bias, so I said to use facing. So place it this way. Okay. Make sure your darts, you can see the notch, the hip notch meeting with each other, the bust line, the waist. So this is how to cross check to know if you are on the right track. So blend this. I mentioned this earlier. The shoulder slope be blended this way. That is why it's very important to add seam allowance on your shoulder line. So I want to clean and cut out my facing. Okay. So let me introduce the white fabric. So place it this way. Check the stretchy part. Flip it this way. Okay. Place it properly. Cut it out this way. So this part, you decide to use a bias to work on this part, or just weave your neck round measurement with your overlocking machine that you stitch once. So place it this way. Make sure it meets with each other. So stitch, excuse me, all around with an ½ inch. Flip it in. But before then, let me quickly now introduce the back panel as well. To cut out the interfacing, place it this way. Make sure you place it properly. So I don't have much fabric. Place it this way. Okay, as you can see, I don't have much fabric, so I'll open it up this way. So what I have here is just 1.5 yards of fabric because it's crepe. Yes. So cut it this way. Place the front facing to check the neck width. Okay, so by the time you finish stitching, your facing will align with each other. Everything will last properly. So place it this way. The second piece, cut it out this way. Okay. So we'll be taking to our overlocking machine to weave it all around. Like what I said earlier, you decide to use bias or just weave your neck line and just hem it once. That is it. So place it this way because we want to quickly cut our zipper allowance open. You can see I've not done that yet. So place it, make sure your hip line meeting with each other. So cut it this way. Remember we added 2 inches as our seam allowance. So to the waistline, okay? So let me quickly now place it this way, stitch it and show you guys. So you can see how beautiful it looks. I'm done. I've also gone ahead to weave it all around with my overlocking machine, and I've added interfacing, the lightest one, on the zipper allowance so that it will be easy for me to fix my zipper. So you could decide to work with without zipper. So place it this way. First we have to join shoulder to shoulder. Place it, flip it right side, facing the right side this way. So we'll be turning it to our facing, okay? Place it this way. Like what I'm doing here, guys. Flip it in this way you're facing, stitch, and do the same on the other shoulder and show you guys. So guys can see we have joined our shoulder. See how beautiful and neat it is. You can see. So you decide to use bias. So I'll be using my hemming gun to iron it. But first I have to quickly pin my zipper this way. It's time to fix a zipper, pin it. So my zipper will just be on the waistline because it stretches. You decide to work without zipper. I've said that earlier. So pin it, patiently pin it. So because I've added the interfacing, the lightest one, I won't find it difficult fixing my zipper. So this is the secret on how to fix your zipper on your stretchy fabric that is crepe. Okay, shoulder meeting with shoulder, that's the neckline. Pin it as well. So you will just stitch. But advise you use your invisible foot. Yes, while fixing your zipper on your crepe this way, that is stretchy fabric. Pin it, stitch, and show you guys. Right. So guys, we're over to our sleeve. So the sleeve, sorry, the camera couldn't capture that part, but let me quickly explain it as well. So you just curve this, you can see I just cut it out. So the sleeve also is optional, okay? So this is the replacement. So I added seam allowance all around. So when I'm through, I will cut out the unwanted parts. So this is how it should look like when you open it. You can see how beautiful it looks. So you guys have seen the thumbnail. So this is how I achieve my sleeve. So I will stitch all around an 1/2 inch to have that curve. So stitch this way first, this way to the shoulder line. So guys can see and through. See how beautiful it is. I've also gone ahead and notch because it's curved. So I've notched it. So it's time to hem it. So I'll quickly take it to my overlocking machine, weave it and hem it. But make sure the lines meet with each other like what we have here, guys. You can see how beautiful it is. So guys, let's quickly now move over to our sewing machine, okay, to fix our sleeve. Show you guys. So guys, you can see I'm through fixing my zipper. I'm also gonna ahead to fix my sleeve. So make sure you iron it. You can see how neat it is. So you open it up this way to the right side. You can see how neat the zipper part is because of the interfacing. So easy to fix. So I also use a zipper foot. So you pull out the interfacing because you are through fixing our zipper. It's not needed. Pull it out this way. While doing this, make sure you do it gently, okay? Pull it out this way. Iron it. So this is it. You can see the sleeve. So this is beautiful, guys. So I quickly have to trim out the zipper, the unwanted parts. Trim it out this way. So we'll flip it now to join the side seam. So iron it open this way. Iron it. Use overlocking machine if you have any. So this is it. To join the side seam, advise if you have your sewing and weaving machine that is 5 thread, advise you use that so that you know it stretches, it scrape. So by the time you put it on, everything will relax properly. So I will close it this way, stitch, use my overlocking machine, weave it all around, and show you guys. Make sure your armhole meet with each other. So guys, we are through. You can see how beautiful it looks. So you can see the hip part. You can see how curved it is. So this is how it should look like. You can see the hip line. So for my zipper, I discovered that it's not sitting properly because of the interfacing I added. So I will quickly pull it out. So my neckline, I'll be using my hemming gum to iron it. So this is it for the hem line. So I'll be weaving it, then I will hem it as well. So let me quickly now turn it to the right side. So you can see how beautiful it looks, guys. So see how straight the dot lines are. So this is it. So guys, this is all for this tutorial. Please find it interesting, like, share, okay, comment, and if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe. I love you all. Bye for now.